It's Kyle here, and today I'll be reviewing episode 4 of Skeleton Crew. Can't say I remember no Attin. And I should also say, it's getting a little closer to Christmas. So I thought it might be appropriate to start wearing some ugly Christmas sweaters for my reviews here. So this one's sporting my Dragon Con one. But back to episode 4 of Skeleton Crew. So far, this was my least favorite episode of the series. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really enjoy it a whole lot. There was a few issues I had with it. First off, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get anything with the parents. I was hoping what they kind of established in episode 3 with kind of starting with the parents and a little scene there. And I'm saying every episode had to start with the parents, but I would have liked at some point maybe a little crossover to add and see what's going on with the parents and stuff like that. So we keep that storyline momentum going. I'm afraid instead at some point in the season we're going to have like one episode that's mainly just all about the parents, and I feel like that'll be a little jarring. And I would like a lot of parent stuff, but I think to keep that storyline really momentum going, I think we need a little bit of that in every episode. So I was a little disappointed we did not get any of that. Another complaint, and this has happened with other streaming shows for Star Wars. To me, this is the first episode this happened in Skeleton Crew, where the episode just seemed randomly cut. I think it's sometimes because when they develop these the way Disney does them, it's more like they're looking at the overall length of the show, and once they do it, then it's like they seem like they randomly just decide where to cut it, and this felt like that, where it didn't feel like an episode. It's more like episode was just going on, and then just randomly it just ended, and it didn't really seem like a natural end point. And I hadn't really felt like that for the first 3 episodes of Skeleton Crew. I did for episode 4, and it was kind of jarring. I felt like, well, that didn't really feel like a complete episode. It looks like they could have had a better end point for that. So was it too crazy about that aspect of it? The other kind of big complaint I had for this one, although it kind of got resolved by the end, is the character Wim. And I was getting a little frustrated for the majority of this episode that Wim was still kind of treating this like it's just like one big game the kids are playing, even though at this point he has been in several life and death circumstances. All the other kids realize how serious this is very dangerous, they want to get home, and that they've almost died multiple times. Where for the majority of this episode, Wim is still acting like, oh, this is like we're out playing in the woods. This is so fun. It's at one point he even has lines like, oh, do we really have to go back home? It's just getting fun now. It's like, hey, kid, you've almost died multiple times. Your friends have almost died multiple times. This is no longer like a sleepover play date. This is serious life and death stuff. So I was kind of happy at the end of the episode. He finally does have a little bit of a character development moment, where when Fern is really struggling and feel like she's really messed up, he does go supporting like, hey, you're doing a great job. You're the only reason we made it this far. If I was the captain, we'd probably all be basically dead at this point. So I'm glad he had that moment, but I think through the episode, it still would have benefited more if he had started treating this situation a little bit more seriously up until that point. It just didn't really feel realistic anymore. So that part of his character development, I'm glad he got to that point, but how it happened, it didn't really feel natural, and especially the first part of the episode, it didn't really seem to reflect what had been going on previously. That was really my only complaint in regard to all the kids and stuff. All the other ones, they seem like they're behaving the way they should be. And I should say, I don't dislike the actor who's performing Wim's performance, because he's just doing what the writers wrote for him to do. I think that's more the aspect of it. It's like I'm not sure the writing aspect of this character was really done the best in this episode. Parts of the episode that I did like, I liked the concept of when they got to this planet, which I figured that they were not actually getting to Attin. That seemed like very early in the series for the kids to get back home. That they arrived at one of the sister planets that seemed to be developed exactly like Attin, which I thought was a really cool touch. I wasn't initially expecting the other treasure planets to maybe be developed the exact same way as Attin, which makes me wonder, one, were they just all done that way just for standardization, so all the treasure planets for the Old Republic were just kind of developed the same way, and that was it, there was nothing more to that, they just were all kind of built and developed at the same time? Or is there some sort of social experiment going on here? I'm kind of curious about that. So, this planet they visited, obviously, when they come here, it's very war-torn, and the society seems completely focused on we're always fighting, we'll be fighting forever, there's no chance for peace. They don't even have a concept of trying to work their way out. It's just like constant raiding and stuff. So is this planet set up to almost be like, this is the social experiment where we deal with like conflict? Attin's the one where we deal more like with very controlled society, very organized, everything's regimented. I'm kind of curious. I don't know if that theory will hold up. I'm wondering the way this would develop, if we'll be going to another one of the treasure planets. If we do, maybe we can see then if there's another drastic aspect of behavior that, you know, maybe a governmental body or some other group might want to experiment with, that seems like that planet's very much leaning towards that way. We might know, you know, maybe these treasure planets weren't just treasure planets. Maybe they were some sort of social experiment. Then again, this theory could be completely over. Obviously, in the previous episode, it was mentioned all the other treasure planets have been destroyed. Maybe at some point, this planet had been super organized and regimented like Attin, and then it was attacked, or some reason war broke out, and that's how this planet was destroyed. And it wasn't some sort of social experiment. The only reason Attin hasn't been destroyed yet is because it has the barrier that kind of hides it. So that theory could be off, but you know, that was my own little personal theory. I should say I'm loving Jude Law in this series. He's amazing. Every moment his character is on the screen, loving it, loving everything from his interaction with the droid, the kids, how at the end he comes in and saves the day when the kids are being threatened by almost like a trigger mechanism in the droid that has basically made him attack the kids because they're trying to figure out where Attin is. Everything that Jude Law's character is doing, I absolutely love, and I'm very interested to learn more about this character as the series goes on, because he's very, very intriguing. I'm really very curious to see what they go with this character for the rest of the series. But overall, that's my thoughts on episode 4 of Skeleton Crew. Like I said, didn't absolutely hate it, but really didn't really enjoy it a lot either. It was just kind of like, so-so. But I'm still excited to see where the series goes, and hopefully this is just a one-off episode that I didn't really enjoy a lot, and the next episode will be like, oh, awesome, loving the series again. So anyway, man, that's my thoughts on episode 4 of Skeleton Crew. Let me know in the comment section below, did you enjoy this episode more than I did, and if so, why? Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed my review. I'll see you the next time, and may the Force be with you.